U.S. President Donald Trump departed Beijing on Friday as critical talks with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping concluded after a two-day visit.
The death toll of Russia's large-scale drone and missile attack over the last 2 days, one of the largest in the past 4 years, has risen to 24 people.
Confirmed by Euronews, the United States has cancelled the deployment of 4,000 troops to Poland, following a growing diplomatic rift between Washington and Berlin. Latvia's centre-right Prime Minister Evika Silina announced on Thursday she will resign following a coalition controversy and a drone incident.
U.S. President Donald Trump departed Beijing on Friday as critical talks with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping concluded after a two-day visit. Both leaders claimed progress was made in stabilizing relations between the two countries, but critical differences appear to still remain, especially on the topic of Taiwan.
Thank you.
这次的访问是一个历史性的、标志性的访问。这个迄今我们已经达成了一个新的两国关系，就是建设性的战略稳定关系。这个可以说是一个里程碑式的一个访问事件。
Trump said progress was also made regarding trade, claiming fantastic trade deals were made but without providing further details. The two also spoke about the Iran war, with Xi saying that he wanted to help negotiate an end to the conflict and reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
We did discuss Iran. We feel very similar to Iran. We want that to end. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We want the straits open.
Very little information was provided on what trade agreements were struck during the summit, though Trump said in an interview with U.S. media that China agreed to purchase 200 Boeing jets. And finally, on Taiwan, Xi warned Trump that missteps in handling the issue could lead to conflict with the U.S.
The death toll of Russia's large-scale drone and missile attack over the last 2 days, one of the largest in the past 4 years, has risen to 24 people. Ukrainian authorities said the strikes primarily targeted Kyiv, the Ukrainian capital, and began as a rare daytime attack on Wednesday, which continued into Thursday, also leaving 47 people injured. The Ukrainian Air Force said Russia had launched 675 attack drones and 56 missiles, adding its air defense units had downed 652 of the drones and 41 missiles. Several EU leaders condemned the attack, lamenting Russia's undermining of any efforts to end the war. Russian authorities, meanwhile, said that Ukrainian strikes on the city of Ryazan killed 3 people and wounded 12 others.
She would like to see a deal.
The United States has cancelled the deployment of 4,000 troops to Poland, following a growing diplomatic rift between Washington and Berlin. The Pentagon previously announced a drawdown of 5,000 soldiers from Germany after German Chancellor Friedrich Merz criticized the US-led war in Iran. In an abrupt move confirmed by Euronews, Washington has now scrapped the highly advanced rotational force that was already scheduled to replace units in Poland. The decision caused disappointment in Warsaw, where officials previously hoped to host the repositioned American forces to secure the eastern flank against Russia. Polish President Karol Nawrocki stated on Wednesday that his country was ready to receive the troops, but Polish Deputy Prime Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz sought to downplay the cancellation on Thursday morning. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte also sidestepped the issue during a press conference in Bucharest, while alliance officials insisted the move would not affect core deterrence and defense plans.
Some disappointment.
Latvia's centre-right Prime Minister Evika Silina announced on Thursday she will resign from the top job following controversy over her coalition and a drone incident. Silina's resignation means a de facto collapse of the governing tripartite coalition, which has been under strain for months.
Redzot spēcīgu profesionālu kandidātu aizsardzības ministra amatam, politiskie tukšrunātāji izvēlējās nevis risinājumu, bet krīzi, valdības krīzi. Tāpēc es paziņoju, ka atkāpjos no ministra prezidenta amata. Tas nav viegls lēmums, bet tas ir godīgs lēmums šajā situācijā. Šobrīd Cilvēkiem vairāk kā jebkad ir vajadzīga drošības sajūta. Nevis partiju ķīviņi, nevis amatu dalīšana vai politiska pozicionēšanās.
Her resignation came after Latvia's defense minister, Andris Spruds, from the Progressive Party, was forced to resign last week over the government's handling of multiple incidents involving stray drones crossing into Latvian territory.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing an open rebellion within his government following the resignation of Health Secretary Wes Streeting. Streeting is the first cabinet members to step down since Labour suffered disastrous losses in last week's local and regional elections, which saw the party lose control of the devolved Welsh Parliament and drop more than 1,300 council seats. In his resignation letter, Streeting sharply criticised Starmer's direction, writing that a vacuum of vision had left the administration in a state of drift. The departure follows the resignation of 4 junior ministers, with more than 80 Labour MPs now openly calling on the Prime Minister to step down. While Starmer has vowed to remain in office, backed by roughly 100 loyalist lawmakers, internal pressure continues to mount as potential contenders position themselves. Former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, a left-wing figurehead highly popular with the party's grassroots, announced she has been cleared of deliberate wrongdoing by tax authorities. The development effectively clears her path to enter a future leadership contest alongside Streeting. Supporters of Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham are also urging Starmer to set a clear timetable for his departure, allowing the mayor to seek Westminster's seat and join the race.
To fight this pandemic.
Under party rules, a challenger requires the backing of 81 Labour MPs to trigger a formal contest. The new Hungarian government has officially ended the state of emergency that was put in place during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic by former Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. The new Prime Minister Peter Magyar stated that the move represents a return to normality, arguing that the decree-based emergency rule was an outdated wartime method. The previous administration under Orbán had repeatedly extended the measure, citing security and humanitarian risks following the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The European Parliament had long criticized the system as incompatible with European values. In a stark shift in foreign policy, Budapest has also summoned the Russian ambassador Evgeny Stanislavov, following a massive drone attack near the border with Ukraine. The strikes hit the Transcarpathia region, which is home to a significant Hungarian minority. On Wednesday, Russia launched at least 800 drones in a barrage that targeted roughly 20 regions across Ukraine, killing 6 people and wounding dozens. Prime Minister Magyar strongly condemned the attack, noting that Foreign Minister Anita Orban would demand information on when Vladimir Putin plans to end the conflict. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the shift in Budapest, describing the summons as an important message.
The president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, is in Kazakhstan on a state visit focused on the current state of bilateral relations and future areas of cooperation between the two countries. We are currently at the Palace of Independence in Astana. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev personally greeted Erdogan at the airport yesterday and again today at this venue, where the two leaders are expected to co-chair the 6th High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council between Kazakhstan and Turkey, where economic ties, energy collaboration, and investment opportunities will be at the center of discussions. A key agenda item is boosting trade turnover between the two countries to almost 13 billion euro, alongside plans to sign a series of new bilateral agreements and engage in a joint business forum with industry leaders. Looking ahead to May 15th, both presidents are also set to participate in an informal summit of leaders of the Organization of Turkic States, where discussions are expected to focus on artificial intelligence and digital development.
Alexandra Matthew is heading to Cannes with her short film Free Eliza,
or Notes on an Anatomical Imperfection. The film will have its world premiere at the Director's Fortnight, the section of the festival long known for championing independent and daring cinematic voices. Eliza, the film's protagonist, works at a luxury hotel resort. Because of an anatomical deficiency, she is unable to smile. In a world dominated by positivity, this becomes a serious problem.
Επειδή με απασχολεί γενικά αυτό το θέμα της τοξικής θετικότητας, γιατί το βλέπω παντού και ειδικά σε ένα περιβάλλον όπως ενός ξενοδοχείου, όπου το να είσαι εργαζόμενος σχεδόν δεν σου επιτρέπεται να είσαι κάτι άλλο εκτός από χαρούμενος. Δηλαδή, σε ένα ξενοδοχείο τίποτα δεν μπορεί να πάει, τίποτα δεν μπορεί να είναι κακό, γιατί εκεί φροντίζεις για όσους διαμένουν εκεί. Οπότε τα προβλήματα της ζωής σου μένουν στην απέξω κάθε μέρα.
A co-production between Cyprus, Greece and France, the film is one of just 9 short films selected for this year's program. Filming for Alexandra Mattheo's third short film lasted 4 days.
Γιατί σε ένα πρώτο επίπεδο ναι είναι το χαμόγελο και η έλλειψή του και πώς αυτό σε διαφοροποιεί από τους γύρω, αλλά σε ένα δεύτερο επίπεδο είναι γενικά όποιος άνθρωπος τείνει να παρεκκλίνει από την νόρμα του τι θεωρείται κοινωνικά ok. Αυτό με ενδιέφερε να δώσω αυτή την ηρωίδα. Μεγαλώνοντας έχω καταλάβει ότι τελικά είναι ένα όπλο το να μπορείς να συνδιαλέγεσαι με τους ανθρώπους με χαμόγελο. Αμέσως φαίνεσαι λιγότερο απειλητικός, ίσως μπορείς να κατακτήσεις και πράγματα πιο εύκολα από ότι άλλοι άνθρωποι που τους υπολείπεται αυτό το κοινωνικό, ας το πούμε, σκύλ. Αλλά αξίζει να εγγύψει κανείς με τρυφερότητα και μια φροντίδα σε ανθρώπους που μπορεί να μην τους επιτρέπει η ιδιοσυγκρασία τους να γεφυρώσουν ένα κοινωνικό διάλογο με ένα χαμόγελο, αλλά δεν θεωρώ ότι είναι αναπηρία σε καμία περίπτωση.
The 79th Cannes Film Festival runs this year from May 12 to May 23rd.